Hello, this is Amrit Maldonado from the Prolific Panther team. Today I'll be walking through some steps showing you how to configure your Panther servlets for your Panther web applications. This is a diagram of a Panther web application. You've got your client on the left and your server on the right. Now, on your client side could be represented by a browser and any device, a laptop, an iPad, tablet, and so on. You've got your internet out. Your HTTP server can be Liberty or Tomcat, and this is where your images, your CSS files, HTML files, and so on may reside. This rectangular box here represents your Panther components, which are made out of the requester, dispatcher, and your JServer. So these are the three executables or processes to run your Panther application. Your requester could be either a CGI program or, in our example here, a Panther Servlet. Your the responsibility of your requester is to send a request from the browser or the client to the backend. Your dispatcher is just another process that starts up your JServer and manages your JServer processes. Because your JServer is what runs your Panther screens and steps through all the events and JPL and C and so on. And lastly, here are your Panther artifacts. These could be screens, JPL files, reports, and so on. Basically anything that will be required for your Panther application. And then, of course, you have your database server. So in our scenario here, instead of using a CGI program as your requester, we are going to show you how to configure your Panther application to use a Panther Servlet. One of the benefits the requester servlet has over a CGI program is that the operating system doesn't need to run a new process for each request that comes in, which means the application would scale better and has way better performance. Alright, let's talk about configuring your Panther Java requester. In my example, I'll be using Tomcat, but you could use IBM's Liberty server, IBM WAS server, and so on. As long as the application server is JE compliant, we are good to go. Alright, so first thing here is you'll need to copy a few Panther files to a couple of directories. So in your Panther installation directory, which is SMBase, you'll find a servlets folder. So you'll copy the WAR file out there to the Tomcat Web Apps folder. You'll also copy a DLL file that's in the servlets folder to the Windows directory. Now, in the Windows directory, there'll also be an ini file, which is your normal Panther ini file that's used for web application. You'll have to make sure that ini file and the WAR file have the same name. In my example, I'm calling my WAR file pantherservlet.war. So you could rename your ini file to pantherservlet.war or whatever you want to call it. And this will basically be in the URL of the application. All right, let me just show you my Panther installation directory. There we go. This is Panther 551. And this is my servlets folder. My servlets folder, I have a WAR file. So I'm going to copy this guy off to my Tomcat web app folder. So let me open up Tomcat, which is in my program files. Apache software, Tomcat, web apps folder. I've copied my Panther Servlet.war file out there. Well, I've copied my proapp.war file and renamed it as Panther Servlet.war. So since I've called this Panther Servlet.war in my Windows folder, I will also have an ini file with the same name. Alright, my Windows folder. So scrolling down. Alrighty, there we go. Panther Servlet, ini file with the same name. Alright, that's first things first. Second thing is you will start Tomcat using the startup.bat script. Before you do that, you have to make sure that JRE home is defined. Alright, so I've got my command line window opened up here. And Tomcat's installed in the program files. So I go to the bin folder and it's already started up. So I ran my startup command and let me shut it down. So the shutdown command is shutdown.bat. Alright, shutting down. So let me start it up. Once it starts up, notice it opens up, it spawns a process here in a different command line window. And once it ends with servlet startup in X amount of milliseconds, you are good to go. All right. You can always look at the log files to make sure Tomcat started up correctly. Now back to Panther. Last thing you have to do is just start up your Panther application called Panther Servlet, and you could then reference it in your URL. That's pretty much it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start up our Panther application using the monitor command. Monitor start, and the name of the application, Panther Servlet. Sorry, I'm stopping it. Let me start it. There we go. Let me verify using the list command that the app is indeed up. Yep, Panther Servlet. Great. So let's open up my browser, and localhost 8080 Panther Servlet is the URI, and the name of my resource, my Panther screen I'm trying to serve up, is login. Voila. Alright, so I have just served up a Panther screen. It is a Panther login screen, by the way, with it's an HTML template I've used, which I've bootstrapped in CSS to jazz it up a little bit. But I've managed to successfully use my Panther Servlet as the requester to access my Panther resource. Any questions? Do reach out to us at support@prolifics.com, and we'll be happy to help you, send you instructions, get you set up with using our Panther Servlet. Thank you very much, and do like our video.